Hello everyone and welcome back to another Destiny 2 video. Today we're going to talk about some changes that I feel like they should really do, and where they really should go, where they really should go with Shadowkeep. And as it is now, where they're going like seasonal, like every third month there is a new event thing going on. For example, right now it's Season of Undying and it brought the Vex Offensive. And to be honest, the Vex Offensive, although chill to play, and I quite like the area, the aesthetic and all, it's a kind of like forest area. It's just too kind of simplistic, a little bit mediocre, and the boring part with this is how short it is. There's 3 encounters. Well, technically I will say 2, because encounter 1 and 2 is used copy and paste. It's literally the same, except that the second encounter is a little bit longer, and I believe you have to destroy a bit more crystals in there than from the first, and the boss at the end is just too easy. He just walks to platform from platform to platform. He stands there waiting for you to take his shield down with like minimum resistance, and it's kind of boring. I feel like you should be able to like go around to other places to activate something, or the enemy will spawn in a different locations, or maybe further away you have to go and get it or something like that, instead of, you know, the enemy spawns right in front of you, you just kill it, take the laser thing you have to shoot down the shield with. Kind of forget the name of it. They kind of should have what they had in what was it, this Spire Stars? Anyways, where you had to like cook those laser things and destroy with like void arc and something, so you kind of have to do that, and whilst that is doing, you kind of have to defend it against hordes of enemies, and then you can take down some shields, and I feel like that would have made the boss a bit better. But that's just one change, and you know. But what I feel like they should definitely do is stop this season thing for now. Not go every third month, but use a disposable event, and then use copy and paste. Well, not copy and paste. Redo that over and over again. What I should do is focus on the events. Well, not really. Events and other things that they already have. Take for example Gambit. Gambit right here, not my favorite. I like the concept and idea of it. The execution is where the problem lays in, and you probably know that if you have watched my other videos. And the biggest problem I have with this is how much advantages an invader has. And if you don't know the advantages that they have, they get wall hacks, extra like overshield, and extra weapon damage. That's a little bit too much to give someone, and they can easily take down the team like twice if they have the right weapon for it. I mean, they don't have to have the most powerful weapon, and still be able to like take down a whole team just like that. And I don't know, it's just way too much power in my opinion, and there's also no negatives to invading at all. And normally I done other videos on this, but you know, I deleted them because they weren't as good. So I kind of want to go even more in depth with how I feel like they should change Gambit again, and that is the whole invasion thing. Nerf down their advantages, as I said. Also put down some sort of disadvantage or negative to invading. You know, maybe invading will cost some modes, maybe invading will like spawn some extra enemies on their side's team. Maybe if you kill an enemy, you get, if you kill like a guardian, maybe it drops a lot of modes instead of just 3 as it drops now. It maybe drop 10 or 15 like a max. I feel like that should be good in a way. You have to have some sort of counterbalance to it, otherwise it's just you're invading, you just go in there, even if you don't get killed, just invading causes those people to like hide. Most of the time they just hide it out, and that causes them not to kill and not to bank modes, and it's just not really fair. And another thing that they really should do is change how the wall hacks work. Instead of having it always on, maybe it could be like a pulsating one that kind of ripples through, and then when it hits something it kind of makes an outline, and then it kind of slowly fades away, and then it kind of pulses again, like slower and slower. And I feel like that could help. They could definitely like reduce the overpoweredness in wall hacks, because they're wall hacks. Did no one like think about it? Did no one over there like thought like, hey, maybe giving them actual cheat is a little bit too much? Because what's gonna happen is that they're gonna pre-fire your ass as soon as you walk around a corner, or they just kind of run around the corner and pre-fire you, and you have so little chance of actually killing them if you're like facing them. Like, yes, it is possible, but as I said, it's a pretty small chance, and I don't like that at all. I feel like there should be some sort of balance between that. Yes, you are 1v4, but it doesn't really feel like that when you're being invaded at all, because all of those advantages that they have, and it's just not good enough. The second thing is the whole invasion at all, and this could really change, like just this simple change could really change how Gambit works, and that is every 25th mode you will activate your portal, and there's the problem that so many people abuses. I don't know if that's intentional or not, but you can skip over those lines and go directly to like the second or third one if you bank a lot of modes at once. And what this will do is it won't overwrite the previous one, it will activate kind of all at the same time. Like, you will be able to invade, and once you're back it's like 5 seconds later and your portal will be up again, because well, that checkpoint has been teed off in a way. The server or whatever kind of reaches like, hey, this one is active, they reached this now, so boom, it's up again. And it is extremely frustrating when people have that, because, you know, constant invasion, that you have to deal with the blockers that they sent, and then you have to go, have to like hide not to die from the invader, and you have to kill normal ads to get modes, and it's just invasion after invasion. You just, if someone gets that, you're going to be so far behind that it's actually fucking unbelievable. And especially sometimes when it's from Prime, because you lose modes when there is 2 or more blockers up, and again, it's not really fun at all, and especially in Prime, since the most enemies are yellow bars, so they take a lot longer to kill. And what I feel like you should do is, if you skip a portal, if you activate more than one at the same time, the previous one should be deleted. It's gone. If you don't take your chance, or your invasion chance, if you don't take it, you activate the next one, the previous one should be gone. I feel like if you do that, more people will think, go a little bit more strategic, like, do we want to bank a lot of the modes at the same time to send a lot of blockers and be closer to spawning our primeval, or do we want to invade more? And I feel like that would change it quite a lot. And another thing that I also feel like you should do is restricting the player to be only able to invade once. Like, one player can only invade once per game. This will allow others to be able to invade. This will also like build up a teamwork, like, hey, you will invade this time, and you will go this time. This will give everybody a chance to invade. It is really annoying if you have like some bounties to kill enemy guardians, especially if those that requires you to kill them whilst you're invading, and just have someone steal it, just standing around the portal waiting for you to back the boat and just jumps in right away, or maybe like as you go and pick up heavy, someone just rushes by and jumps in. And I mean, sure, that could still happen, but you will always have a chance to invade throughout the game. That is if you know the other team doesn't kill the primeval before, well, you can invade. And just that small change will have a pretty big impact on the game. You know, just those two changes how the portal activation works and the amount of time a player can invade. Because as it is now, as I said, since you can activate multiple at the same time and the same person can invade over and over again, it's mostly gonna be someone with a like a machine gun which is ridiculously overpowered, or a tracking rocket launcher which is like a one-hit kill, like there's nothing you can do, and it's just gonna be that over and over and over again, and it's not fun. As I said, those two changes will have a really big impact. Also change the advantages someone has. Another thing that I feel like will be very welcome is when someone is invading during primeval, and you know when they kill the guardian, the primeval gets healed. I feel like if you kill that guardian after he has killed some of your teammate, or maybe even just one, the health that was brought back to the primeval should be like redacted, or maybe just a little bit of it. Okay. Sorry about that. And another thing I felt like you could do is, whilst you're invading or someone is invading you during primeval time, is, you know, when you kill a guardian, the primeval gets health back, and I feel like if you kill that guardian who has killed some of your enemies, obviously you can only kill that guardian, but if you kill that invader, the health that he took down, I feel like it should be, or not took down, but brought back, should probably be like taken back again or something, you know? As I said, there should be some sort of punishment. There's literally no punishment for dying or invading at all. And being killed after you kill some guardians during primeval should maybe reduce, maybe gives like a damage buff for a period of time. Maybe it could reduce the, like, remove those health that it brought back. And I don't know exactly how it will work. I feel like maybe like a damage buff pool or something could be much easier, or not even a pool, just like, hey, you kill this one, your whole team gets like a damage buff, or the person who killed it gets a damage buff towards the primeval, maybe even to the invoice as well. And this will put like some more like strategic decision whilst invading, like, okay, so who's gonna go, where am I gonna be, how will I go with this, like, should I just rush them, should I not, and you don't want to just have that, because as it is now, it's like, let's say from prime, you're gonna stand in this damage pool that's gonna buff your damage against the primeval, and it is like you're all there, and there's like a free kill pretty much for an invader, because you're all there shooting the primeval, and he can just come from behind and just kill like the whole team, and voila, the primeval is back to full health. And you know, that's not that very fun, but sure, you could still do that, but if you do die, you might leave like an extra damage buff, or maybe the health you took, gave to the primeval will be taken back, or something like that. It could change something, and this would change the game pretty much every time you play it. And I'm kind of repeating myself, but I feel like those changes will definitely bring back a gambit to the map, because as it is now, it's not fun. The next thing in Gambit is probably to change like all the like quests for it. The quest, for example, where is it? These quests, I mean, it's new, so yeah, but most quests to get either the pinnacle weapons or freaking bounties like these are ridiculously grindy in Gambit. Like, these are the most grindiest quests in the game. It's actually ridiculous how much grind and how many times you have to play it just to get something. For Hush, for example, over 1,000 bow kills, over 1,005, not even just 500. Like 500 of those is precision. So I mean, you need over 1,000 bow kills, and that is an insane amount. Then you need around 500 medals or something like that. And medals are so hard to get. Like, you're not always gonna get a lot of medals. You can get one by being the first one who blocks. You can get another for killing a certain amount of enemies without dying. Then another for killing more and more. Probably from killing a lot of like guardians whilst invading. Like, you can play a whole game and come out with 3 medals or something like that. You need like around 500 or something. That's a lot of medals you need. And Hush was not that worth it at all. You also have these, like, I got exit strategy before getting the medal or emblem, and it's just an emblem, and it's actually harder and it takes longer to get than a freaking pinnacle weapon. Like, yes, they are now called tribute weapons, but the pinnacle weapons from before Shadowkeeps, these are still grindier to get. It's insane because it's literally just shaders and emblem. Why do you need this insane amount of grind? And it's often just in Gambit where the grind is. Funny enough, the easiest ones to get was in PvP, and I don't play PvP that often, but I got it really quickly. Actually, I got not this one, but obviously all of these was during Iron Banner right now, and yeah, I got it from I think during the whole Iron Banner quest to get the armor sets, and I got it maybe halfway through on my second character on it, and I still haven't gotten this one. The Vanguard one was also really tedious because it forces you to play through Ordeal to get points, and for a long time, or actually in the beginning, it was actually bugged for me, where I sometimes got from Ordeal, but sometimes I got from Strikes, and it just kind of alternates between them, so I thought it was completely bugged, and then it worked fine. So strange. So you have that. So going back to what I said, like shutting down Gambit to fix it, this is what I really want them to do. Instead of adding these temporary events or disposable events, is that they sit down, take down an event, fix it, bring it back, then takes down another event, fix it, and fix the things that they have. These are permanent, so why wouldn't you fix these instead of leaving them as they are, kind of broken, under thought out, mediocre, tedious, boring, not really rewarding, and just adding other kind of boring, mediocre, non-rewarding events that you're just gonna remove after 3 months, whilst these are permanent. I honestly don't know why that is. I really wish for them to actually use their brains and fix the things that they have for once. And I feel like they should have all the time in the world right now to do that. especially now when it's free to play, where more people is gonna come. I feel like they should really think about doing that, because there's a lot of free to play games out there, and they have this game beat. So I mean, why would you choose this? You have to really put this on the map. You really have to show that this is worth playing. This is worth the others. And you also have these new season things where you have to pay to get these, and I don't know if it's worth it entirely. I mean, yes, the ornaments here look good, don't get me wrong, these were really good looking ornaments, and sure, you will have access to the disposable event. I guess you will have for the exotic weapon quests and the raids, but those might not be the most appealing thing, or the thing that new players gonna look out for or really wanted to do right away, since there's a lot of things for them to do. They have like all the story missions for free except for the moon, I believe, or Shadowkeep, and I mean, they're not really missing that much out. And so they're gonna go through those two first, then probably doing like what, look around on planets, doing the other exotic quest lines, doing Gambit, Crucible, Strikes, Nightfall. So these extra events and raids is not going to be on their first thing to do in their minds, and if they're gonna see, like, for example, my friend installed it, I asked him to do it, he tried it out and he didn't really like it, so he uninstalled it. It's kind of a shame, because he did without us telling me that it was, you know, he has installed it so we could actually play together, because this game is way more fun to play with friends than by yourself. And there lies another problem, is that it's kind of boring to play by yourself, and I know there's not a clear fix to it, like not like straight fix for it or none of that, but at least updating some of these things to make them at least better might be like, alright, this is like, it's not the best, but it's okay, you know, for all the free players things, on the first impressions. And you know, obviously the rates and stuff is going to be better, and once you're done with these fixes to these permanent, then you could go back to these disposable things, and then it might appeal to more people to actually pay for the season pass. Because if that's it, like this little rank thing, access to the disposable event, I don't know if you can release a raid every third month. I highly doubt it, and if you are, it's probably not gonna be in the same quality as the other raids. So I mean, that's kind of dangerous to do. But if it's just still rank season rank up rewards and not disposable events, I don't think I will pay for it. Seeing as how, well, it's kind of mediocre, that's all you get. And I mean, I don't know the price tags on it yet, if it's cheap, if it's in a reasonable price, I might, but if it's like higher than our normal DLC, then no, I won't. So you have that. Fix these. For planets, I mean, there's not too much you can do. What you could do is like upgrade upgrade the reward system for public events, especially make a difference between completing a normal and a heroic, because there is no real difference. I mean, even if there is, there's like a really small one, and because of that, most people opt to just complete the normal one, and it really sucks if you have a bounty to complete heroics, or if you just want to complete heroics because, I don't know, you just want to. The worst offender of these are on the Tangled Shore on this Crypod, because Spider sometimes sells a bounty for you to complete 2 heroic events here, and the Crypods are kinda in a way, so people just opt to kill the boss as fast as possible. So if you would increase the reward, it might change some people's mind in like if they should use kill it as fast as possible, or you know, go for the extra reward. So it could help if you had the bounty. Mars escalation protocol is fine. The problem I had with this is you put protocol and public events together, and the problem with this is if escalation protocol is active, public events won't be active. You cannot get public events to start until the escalation protocol is over. And once again, since you can buy bounties to complete public events, or if you have the flashpoint here, you can't really do that, because I've tried to start a public event where I go down there, you know, raise the flag, wait for it to start, and I just have someone just run by, activate protocol, and then that's it. Like, there's nothing I can do. And I really wish that you would have dedicated one site for escalation protocol, another one for public events, so you could have that. Speaking of season rewards, I won't say that these are the best there is. The clear winner is the weapon ornaments, or not the weapon ornaments, the armor ornaments, I'm sorry, not this one. If I go here, you have this, the Vex looks really good. All of them except the Titan, in my opinion, because it has this weird iron bar sticking out. It just doesn't look that very good. Warlock and Hunter looks really good. I believe you could see it. Oops, sorry, I was there. If I go here, you can see here. You have a little bit sticking out there. You have this horn, and it doesn't look too good. The Hunter looks really good. Looks like kind of like bounty hunter type. It looks really cool. And then you have the Titan. I mean, what is this supposed to be? That looks the least threatening, I guess, out of them all. Least cool. It looks kind of goofy, and that's a problem that most Titans have, is their bulky designs. They have to have these things sticking out of them, and it's just not that good. Maybe I can see it. I don't think I can actually censor these ornaments. So these are kind of things that I wanted to talk about, and Gambit got a more in-depth. Crucible, still don't like it. I had a really good time in Iron Banner, not gonna lie. I met mostly new people, and the meeting new people really shows that PvP in this game can be really fun and enjoyable, because they don't abuse the system that most people do. They didn't even use the radar. So most of the time you can just run by them, or they just run past you, and it's just so much fun. And most of them didn't use shotguns, hand cannons, or spam supers, and so that's a thing I really would want them to change, to remove radar. Just removing the radar would have a huge impact. And or what they could do, instead of removing it, is to remove you, so you're not showing up on the map unless you're standing on an objective, you're shooting, or you're in the line of sight of another team, or well, player. Kind of what they have, you know, in every other games. As I don't understand why you guys went with an always active radar. I really don't like this. Having it off, or so you only show up, as I said, when you shoot, you're in the line of sight of someone, or you're on an objective, can really put in more strat to this game. And instead of just like, oh, I've tried to walk on the edge of the map, being like not even on anyone's radar, and then split second it was like a red line on my radar, so obviously someone else saw me, or I was like on someone else's radar, and then it went away and someone ran up behind me, shot me, because for that split second someone saw me. and it's just not that fun. You can't put up strategy, you can't sneak around the whole team with and going for their objectives or come from behind or anything. It's like, okay, cool. I don't really know why they brought it back. It definitely should be off in comp, because you know that's for I guess most experienced players should be or going to be, so having it the exact same as Crucible then makes no sense. Maybe there's some slight differences, but so having that off. The other thing I feel like should be off is supers, because it's a one-hit freaking ability. There's fairly you can do about it. I heard that armor or they're less defensive in them now, but that's not by much. And most roaming supers or people who have them is gonna activate them right in front of you, so that you have very little time to actually shoot them down. Regardless if they have less, and then you just click once and you're dead. And the other problem is, whilst when they activate their soup, they get full health and shield back, so woo, they have like a second life in a way. I feel like that should definitely be off. They should also turn off tracking. Tracking modules should not work against other people. Like those 3 changes will have a big impact. There's way more that I don't like. The handguns being too overpowered, shotguns the same. We have grenade launcher, rocket launchers again, like all of those are pretty much an insta kill. It's just too overpowered. The weapons, you know, are unbalanced as hell, and it's just not that very good. So when I played against like a whole team of new player, both in my team and the enemy team, for like 5 or 6 games in a row, it was awesome in a way. It was really fun. I could really go for the challenges that I had to for Iron Banner. I could even complete the catalyst for my Jade Rabbit, where I had to get over 200 kills, which I probably never would have if I met people who has played this for a while. And it really showed, because later on my luck ran out with meeting all the new people, so I met some others and I started hating it again, because the pre-farm around the corner, you use shotguns, hand-to-hand, grenade launchers, spammed supers, and it was like, okay, cool. So in a way, meeting new people is actually way more enjoyable and makes the PvP actually better than meeting old people, or well, you know, old players I guess, or old Destiny players, because they don't abuse the poor system in this game. Another thing that is really grindy that I did not like, and I hope they're not going with this in the future, is the catalyst for, where are you, Arena Survival. My god, was this one too grindy for what it's worth. The bonuses that the catalyst gave this weapon is nice, like it works for this weapon, but after all this grind I did not feel like it was worth it. So if you don't know what the catalyst does for Rihanna's Vow, you basically you get 3 more bullets in the magazine, so you have 9 in total, and you also get all loading holster. So that's what you get. And in order to get this, or the way to get this, is you have to pick up the quest from Banshee, and then you have to complete 300 activities with this one equipped, or 150 Gambit Primes, unless you have the triple Catalyst booster. I'm gonna try to find it. Can't really find it. There's a Catalyst quest booster Omega, so I think this is the last one. 22, huh? Anyways, you need to have triple booster. You can get 3 obviously through the ranks, and then you have triple. once you have gotten that, you will then only have to do 100 activities, which is strikes, Vex offensive, gambit, crucible, or you can do 50 gambit primes. And this one took so long to do. I didn't do primes because I don't like prime that very often, that much, and it also can take really long time to complete one, so I have to go for like a lot of strikes. And I like strikes more. Also had like some boons of tokens for strikes. I got some, actually I got ornaments from there, and like ships and sparrows, so I was lucky to get that through there. And it was more enjoyable, it felt like it went faster. And after you've gotten that, you get the catalyst. The problem is the catalyst is not unlocked. The catalyst becomes like a normal catalyst, so you actually have to get kills with this weapon. I don't know the exact amount, but maybe it's 100, 150 or something. And it's an unnecessarily long grind for something that at that point is not worth it. As I said, I thought it was worth it at the beginning, but no, for that grind it is not at all worth it. So if you have the quest, unless you do a lot of strikes and you really like the hand cannon, or if you do primes, I mean, go ahead, why not? There's nothing like preventative about it, there's no hindrance or anything, it's just the grind. And yeah, but I feel like I've talked a lot about it, and I hope to see any of the changes at all, and maybe you have some changes. The only changes I've noticed so far is the armor set. I mean, it's kind of hard to not notice it. I wouldn't say that this is the best system at all. I don't particularly like armor 2.0 because the insane randomness, the insane amount of grind you have to do to get the perfect roll, the extreme amount of costs for a mod to get like more resistance or something, 3 for normal, 5 for super there, so it's just too much. And then how random it is. For example, my helmet here can have targeting, and then go to this one and it cannot have targeting. It can have ammo finder for whatever reason on both of them. And oops, I pressed the wrong button. And it's annoying because it has a total of 62 points, whilst the one I'm using has a total of 48. So this one is better because it has more points, but it has worse mod sockets than the one I'm using. So I'm not gonna use this one because then I will have, you know, shittier things. Okay, I can see targeting here, but it's not for the ones I'm using, and it's just, why aren't they the same? Again, an unnecessary grind to a system that kind of was random before. Sure, this is way more random than the previous one, but I feel like it's not really worth the grind, worth trading out, or it's annoying. Okay, that's all I'm gonna say. I don't want it to be super easy to be handed the best gear, but at least make it, you know, equal. Why can't I put on any type of mods on this one whilst I can on, you know, on the previous one I could get pretty much whatever, but here it's like, no, it's gonna be random. And for whatever reason on this exotic, that it increases my reload speed, I can only get reload speed perks on it. Like, why? That's like the biggest insult. Like, these won't help at all. I've used actually them, and it increased the reload speed by 0 because that's the perks of this weapon or armor sets, I'm sorry, on this exotic, to increase your reload speed. So why can I only put on reload speed mods? It makes no sense whatsoever. And Sophie is rambling on here in the end, and it's just like I got so carried on, and yeah. But anyways, I hope you enjoyed the video, I guess. maybe you had some other maybe you had something that you would like them to see. I as I said, those changes for Gambit, VP, just everything that I talked about, I feel like it could be better. And maybe you, as I said, maybe you have some, maybe you liked how it is now, maybe you like them just adding different season with disposable events. I don't know. Oops. Tell me in the comments what you think that you change, what you don't like, or maybe you like, as I said, you like how it is. But alright, so one quick thing that I forgot to mention is the ritual weapons that they're gonna have now, and what I really want to see them like handled, what I really want them to be. And the first time I heard about pinnacle weapons way back, and especially for, there was a breakneck, I believe it was one of the first Gambit. I don't know if that's the first pinnacle I heard of. I'm not too sure, but I thought that the pinnacle weapons you got would benefit greatly in the activity from where you got it from. For example, breakneck, as I said, I heard it, I thought it would be really good in Gambit, but it's an okay weapon in Gambit. It's not like it's really powerful, it's not like it's a must-have in it. I thought that it will deal extra damage towards, you know, enemies in Gambit, because whilst in Gambit you are much weaker in there, you die much easier and you deal less damage. I thought that breakneck or any other pinnacle weapons in its respective activity would deal extra damage towards the enemies, but that's not the case. It's just a weapon with some perks on it, and that's kind of boring in a way. And also as ritual weapons now, they're gonna be slightly different, but what I would love to see is another perk that is only that's only going to be active during its activity. So for example, edgewise right here, you could have a perk right here or right here. It doesn't really matter where it is, because it's gonna be active only during strikes on Nightfall. And maybe what it could be is that it has bigger magazine size during it. It might have a higher chance of dropping heavy. Maybe it could be like, yeah, randomly when you like getting a killing is like special or something, has a small chance of dropping heavy or special for your teammates. That could be a really cool thing, to be more of a support type of class weapon for your kind of support build, I guess. Even if you don't go around with a support class build, it still could be a really cool thing to really help out your teammate. And yes, you could still be able to get, you know, heavy from randomly getting kills. And imagine like a 3-man team going around with this one, could just give each other ammo a lot by just here and there. Could be a really cool combo, could be really cool strats and all of that. I feel like that could actually give this one some character. It could give more reason to actually go after this weapon, to actually use this over Hammerhead or 21% Delirium or Thunderlord. That could actually be a really cool thing. And as I say, we'll set this one apart. And yeah, the second one is exit strategy. And I mean, if you're not using a submachine gun that very often, this one will not change your mind, I believe, at all. If you are, you're most likely using Recluse. Maybe you switched over to Huckleberry, or even you use Risk Runner now, and all those three are better than this one. What this one could have been is maybe have a perk that maybe I have some ideas. Maybe it can have a chance of dropping extra motes, or like the enemy you kill can have a chance of dropping extra motes, like maybe one extra. That could still make a pretty big difference. Maybe when you're using this one, you have a higher mobility. Maybe killing like special enemies would either reload your magazine again, give you like your magazine back, or it could give you health back. That could be cool. Like it would actually benefit a lot in Gambit to have like something like that, to have higher mobility, or to be able to get health back from meeting high-end enemies, because you are so much weaker in Gambit. You take way more damage, you deal a lot less, so having some way to get health back would actually be a really cool thing. Could really help out. Or having the extra mode drop, or getting your ammo back, kinda like what Huckleberry has, would be kinda cool. But then again, maybe that would be, that would kind of destroy how Huckleberry is, so maybe not have that. Maybe it has just, as I said, it could drop an extra mode, or it could heal you from killing an enemy, or like a high-end enemy, like a yellow bar. I feel like that could give this one some character. It could definitely give you more of a reason to use this one over any other weapons. It is a kinetic one, so you can still use any other submachine guns if you want to, or a lot of shotguns or stuff like that. So it's in a kind of good spot. I mean, I would probably like to see it in the energy slots, but having a kinetic submachine gun isn't that bad at all. So feel like that could be really cool for this one. It could definitely have given more of a reason to actually use this one over what it is just now. I mean, it's not that bad. I haven't used it that much. I tested it out a little bit on the moon in a last second. It was, I mean, it's okay, but since it is an overworld enemy, they don't have that much health or defenses, so it's always gonna be really good there. I haven't tested this one in Gambit at all, so I don't know. That remains to see for me. So, but having that extra perk to either get an extra mote or some health back would definitely be a bit of bigger of a seller, bit more of a seller, and more of a reason to actually grind for this weapon. The Randy's throwing knife is a weapon I don't have, so I can't really say that much about it. Since it is in PP, I mean, getting health back per kill, or having a chance for extra ammo, I don't know what this one could have had. As the health would probably be too strong. Getting kills and get some ammo, not like it would automatically reload, but dropping, maybe that it wouldn't have been that much of a difference between Edgewise and this one's perks. I honestly don't know what this one could have, because I don't play PvP that much. I don't really like PvP in this game. If you play a lot of PvP, and then you probably have some idea what this one could have had, but a scout rifle would probably need in Crucible, or anywhere in the comp, or well, I guess Crucible. You just type that in the comments, I guess. So, but that's gonna be it. I really wish that these weapons now on 4 has these perks that is active during those activities, to actually give you more of a reason to use those, and it will actually feel more like, yes, this weapon came from this activity. It doesn't really make sense that you will get a weapon from like Gambit, for example, but it has no extra advantages in Gambit. It's just kind of strange to me. It doesn't make sense at all. But yeah, anyways, thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.